Welcome to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprofit.com. And now your hosts, Craig and Jeff.
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey. And today we're going to get into the rest of the draft. Last week, Thursday night, we reacted during the first round to all the first round picks that are fantasy relevant. Today, we're going to go second round and beyond. There was definitely some good, things that happened after the first round was over. A lot of fantasy relevant stuff happening. If you guys remember, if you listened, we ended that show, Jeff really wanting Christian Watson to go to the Packers at 28. It wasn't in the cards. Wasn't going to happen. They didn't do it. They decided not going to do it. Second round rolls around. Packers trade up right away. Second pick of the second round, the first position player off the board. Christian Watson goes to the Packers. Just like we've been talking for weeks on this show. Every time we've talked about Christian Watson, we've talked about the landing spots. I think the Packers were always that top landing spot. Always. That was the one. And it happened, Jeff. How do you feel now that it actually happened? Christian Watson is a Green Bay Packer.
I mean, I feel good. Thank God. I mean, they almost came away with not a wide receiver. I was very shocked that they didn't take one in the first round. So super happy they decided to trade up and grab one. And I think that is it's an amazing pick. There's a lot of good wide receivers in this class, but I think that he's going to turn out to be one hell of a gem. So super excited. And hopefully I can get him late in a bunch of my drafts.
So where are you thinking of ranking him early on? It's hard.
I mean, it's a really good question. I don't know exactly. I think I'll probably have him higher than most people, but I'll probably still have him outside. I mean, he's gonna be outside my top 30 to begin, but I'm thinking he'll probably be like right now, like 40th until I hear something about him. Because Green Bay, the other thing about him is, they don't care if he doesn't get along with Aaron Rodgers, right? If he doesn't do the correct things right away, it could hold him back a little bit, but I think that he'll be a riser very, very quickly, especially if they don't make another move. I mean, who else does he have to throw to? So I still like him better than the other guys on Green Bay, but it might take him a few weeks to get going. Right. But yeah.
So I went to Fantasy Pros. I was curious. It's not going to be fully ranked yet. He's still down there because of not everyone's updated, but I was like, he's at the list said he was the highest ranked he was 32nd. Okay. So I'm like, oh, wait, I looked at it. Oh, that was me. It was me. But since somebody has actually ranked him higher since. So 32nd is now the second highest rank. And it's me and two other Fantasy Pros guys. Another guy from Fantasy Pros ranked him 17th. That's a little rich.
Yeah. I mean, I really, I'm incredibly high on the guy, but you got to make sure he's going to play first, right? I mean, Dynasty draft, that's a different story. I can wait for that. I can, I'll put him in I don't know. That one's a very interesting one. If you start going Dynasty, I probably have him way too high at the moment.
He's going to be interesting in redraft or regular draft because I feel like in at least every league, there's going to be a couple people that want him early. Then he's going to go. It's going to be hard to get him. I really feel like it where you want to. That's the thing. And like we already know, Jeff, in our auction league, people are going to bid you up.
I know. I don't know. The guy seems too good to be true. We will find out very, very quickly.
We'll see if they add anybody. If they add anybody else, I mean, Julio Jones is still out there, right?
They still could add someone. I don't know if that really would. I'm not sure if that would help or hurt me, to be quite honest. I honestly believe that he could easily be the number one on that team right now with the other wide receivers they have. I mean, 6'4" is incredibly fast. If you look at his metrics, I mean, agility score is kind of average, but everything else is in the 90th, 96, 95, 94 percentile for speed and height, catch radius. I mean, he has all the makings. My question is, does he have that in him right away going against people that he is clearly more athletic than every single down compared to these, cornerbacks that will try to, do all the tricks to him and are probably twice as fast as the guys he's going against. So that'll be the big question. is he refined enough to get that back shoulder catch down? Does he do the smart play, which, Aaron Rodgers will kind of demand of him. Otherwise, he'll just go back to maybe not as talented of a wide receiver, but a guy that knows the protocol, right? So, but yes, 17th is way too rich for my blood, even as much as I love him. But, my biggest fear with guys like this is if he has one good preseason game, which he very well could, it just takes one catch, then all of a sudden he gets amped up and, my love just completely disappears.
All right, let's go to the next one. 2 picks later, New York Jets on the clock. They drafted Breece Hall, running back from Iowa State, probably the best back in the draft. It was between him and Walker. Breece Hall goes to the Jets, shows that Michael Carter, not sold on him being an every down back, but these days in the NFL, you need 2 anyway, right? So Michael Carter's still going to play, but they think, to draft Breece Hall at this point, you're going to play him a lot. I just don't know how I feel about this right now for fantasy purposes, because Michael Carter he was good enough to earn a role in this team. You don't think he's going to go away, but Breece Hall, it's still the Jets. They did some things this week. They had a good draft, and so they're improving for sure. They got Garrett Wilson, they get Breece Hall. Fantasy wise, I'm just not sure how high I can rank him though. It's just not I don't love the landing spot for this year, for 2022.
I agree with you. I don't think that Michael Carter is going to go away. I know that everyone automatically is thinking Breece Hall is the number one. I think he's going to have to rip it away from him. Michael Carter looked good. And like you said, you need 2. I do have to love his ability to go yard. The guy is very, very fast, but I've seen a lot of fast, guys in the NFL not be able to figure out how to hit the hold, not figure out how to, break a tackle. So I really want to see that. But the crazy part is, I believe right now for Dynasty Outlook, he is ranked overall consensus number 1 as far as the Dynasty pick. And I think that is, and I realize running back is hard to come by. So maybe that, amps him up. But what are you thinking there? Because right now I'm thinking all wide receiver all day. Like Breece Hall kind of scares me.
I've seen some of that, and I've seen also his just regular redraft rank, and I'm like, man, what are people seeing here? Why is he so far up? That's what I don't get. I think there's some good receivers in this class. I think I'd go for them over. A couple of them probably over Breece Hall. To be honest,
without doubt.
I'm just, and it's the Jets. I'm just not sure how this is going to all work out. He was good. And his stats are good. They are 1,400 yards, 5.8 yards a carry, 20 touchdowns. That's great, but it doesn't blow me away in the college level. He's a good back. I see in some of those ranks, I even seen like just Dynasty redraft, just Dynasty overall, startup Dynasty. He was in the top 5 of running backs already on some. Right. That's where I'm like, oh man, this overhyped thing. Cause let me see, I'll pull up a Dynasty. Okay, this one he's not. They haven't updated it completely, but he's as high as 3. That's why, because it's not fully updated with everybody. He's as high as 3 in Dynasty redraft, Dynasty startup. Like, man,
that is wild. I was just talking about rookie. Yeah, that is way too much. Yeah. I don't know where and once again, he put up crazy numbers. You just put them out there. I know maybe you're less impressed.
They're good numbers.
They were very good, right?
I've seen crazier.
Yes, I think that he's a talented guy, but I do think that this is a year where and we did this for wide receiver as well. QB, like overall talent, it was very deep, but there wasn't the one guy where you're like, oh, that's the beast you have to get, right? Like a Saquon or something. There wasn't a talent like that. So my question, and honestly, I think, and I'm biased in this one because I'm a State fan, but honestly, like just as a running back, Breece Hall, I think he's proven himself more as like, you could probably do a few more things for him, but I think Walker was a better running back overall. And I'm not sure why the overestimation of what he's going to be able to do, like right out of the gate. Not to mention he's going to have a backfield and a team that doesn't score a whole lot. So, is he really going to be the goal line back? I feel like there's so much we don't know about him. Yeah. It freaks me out to take him that early. I think that's way too much.
Difference between him and Walker is just, I guess, in people's minds is going to be receiving. He had more a lot more catches. Walker did have more rushing yards. He had over 1,600, 6.2 yards per carry with 18 touchdowns, both in good conferences. Big 10 versus Big 12.
Without a doubt. And Hall is definitely the speedier of the back, and he's not small. Like, he's got a lot of really good things. I don't want to take everything.
No, he's good. He's good.
Like, but
right now on Fantasy Pros, he's up to 16th ranked right now. He's 16th. And so he's right in that range of one spot behind Antonio Gibson, 2 behind Swift, ahead of David Montgomery, which I'll give you that. Head of Cam Akers, head of Zeke.
Not even that. I can't even give him that. Yeah. Like, at least Montgomery is the number 1 and goal line back. Like,
he's ahead of Saquon. He's ahead of Zeke.
What?
Zeke right now on Fantasy Pros, Zeke and Saquon are 19 and 20. Saquon's 20th.
I've been talking mad crazy shit about Zeke, and there's no way I would do that. Like, I thought I was going to be the hater this year. Obviously not. I'm going to be the guy that loves Zeke at like 15. I'm like, it's a steal.
Saquon at 20.
You would be.
You know what? Sorry, Saquon at 20. I'm doing it.
Yeah, 100%.
All day.
Like,
I'll take that chance.
Don't pretend you're going to take Breece Hall over Saquon. Like,
I'll take a chance.
Do it.
I'll get burned again. I don't care. I'm taking that chance.
Where's Michael Carter? We should get to. We have so many guys to get to.
Michael Carter's 37th is Michael Carter.
37th. Honestly, give me that guy. Like, I'll take him way later. And imagine he's going to split carries.
This to me feels like the new fresh thing. Everyone's all loves that, and it gets overhyped. We'll see. I mean, not again. This feels like we don't like Breece Hall. That's not it. Just sometimes I think people go overboard.
I'm going to go one more. When we get to Walker,
which is next. Let's go to Walker right now.
Okay, let's go to Walker because I kind of like his situation better.
So Walker gets drafted by Seattle.
Yes.
So and this
is I hate this.
Teams. I hate this for Rashad Penny. Hate it. But that means I love the situation for Kenneth Walker. Because I thought Penny could do it. Look at Penny did at the end of last year. I mean, yes, quarterback situation is different, right? But Penny was good at the end of last year. Very, very good, I thought. And I loved him going into this year. Obviously, they went with somebody else. They went with Kenneth Walker, which if Kenneth Walker gets that opportunity, it's going to be awesome. And he's right now ranked 27th. So that's, I'd rather go if I'm going to pick. I'm going to wait and take Kenneth Walker. Let me take Saquon first, and then I'll go get Kenneth Walker.
Let's put that out there. Saquon should definitely go first.
Yeah.
So I like Walker better. I know that no one is going to agree with me besides maybe you, but I do. And Rashad Penny is a good running back. They're going to have to run the ball a lot because right now we have no idea what their passing game is going to look like. They're going to have to run it a lot. I think both of them are going to be very viable. We've seen this before, right? Where they've had Carson and another guy, and they can support both of them. Penny also has an injury past. So Walker could end up being the default number 1 guy there. And maybe he doesn't have that breakaway speed, but he was able to break so many tackles. He was so durable. He was able to create yardage after contact. And I think that is the name of the game when you're going to be the Seahawks this year. It's going to be how much can you grind it out? I think he's a perfect player for that. I like him better. And I don't know, maybe a long-term prospect. It could turn out to be Breece Hall depending on what happens, but I don't trust the Jets as far as I can throw them. Right. So, Seahawks, they're probably going to struggle as well, but that Jets are wanting to figure out how to get Zach Wilson going. They put a lot of draft capital in wide receivers as well. So I don't think that is all of a sudden the Breece Hall show. I just personally don't see that.
No, I'm with you. I feel like I might like Walker better too. Maybe I'm still thinking of Seattle as Seattle from before. There's no Russell Wilson, but we'll have to see how it plays out. But I like the potential situation there. All right, let's go down to the next player here if I can find my spot. All right, pick 43 of the draft. Wan'Dale Robinson goes to the New York Giants, wide receiver from Kentucky. So he is, I believe, the 8th receiver off the board at this point. Wan'Dale Robinson, not somebody we really talked about, I feel like, or at all. I don't think I've ever talked about him. Robinson had 104 catches for 1,300 yards and 7 touchdowns last year. Pretty good numbers. When he went to Nebraska for 2 years, he moved over to Kentucky. He played a lot of receiver or running back too at Nebraska. Ran in his first year at Nebraska, his freshman year, he had 40 catches for 453 yards. He had 88 carries for 340 and 3. So they moved him over. It was only 3.9 yards per carry. It wasn't that great. The next year he had less carries, but then he became, he goes to Kentucky and just mainly in a receiving role and 104 catches. So he's only 5'8", 178, runs a 4.44. So he's interesting. I don't know a lot about him, to be honest, but he's put up some good numbers in his 1 year there at Kentucky.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to be. I'm just spewing hate today, but I don't want to be that guy either. But I don't. I guess I just don't get this one. Maybe he's more of a talented guy than I realized, but
it felt like a little bit of more of a reach from what I thought.
If an injury occurs, sure, but he just feels kind of like a good college player, but he's gonna be a mediocre running back, mediocre wide receiver. I'm not exactly sure what the Giants are gonna do with him. So I'm completely off this one. I don't see any hope, but that's just me personally. I have not watched the guy play enough to really know. But
then you throw him in there with the Giants.
Yeah, right, I mean, I don't like the situation. I think he's undersized. He's not actually overly fast. I'm just kind of confused at where he would fit on this team, because it's not like they don't have talented guys, and they have more talented guys that haven't been doing anything.
Yeah, right? Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton. So
they have too many. They have to figure out who's going to play, who's not going to play. If Saquon is healthy, it completely takes away any shot that he can, run in the backfield. And I don't know. I'm completely off of it.
Yeah, it was interesting. I'm not sure how that one's going to play out. All right, very next pick, Houston Texans pick a receiver, John Mechie from Alabama. John Mechie, he's a good player, definitely. He got hurt, right? But he had 96 catches, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns at Alabama. He's good. I don't know, why he was. I thought a better prospect at one point, but he fell to the 9th receiver in this one. I guess that's about right. So,
yeah. Look, I mean, once again, you're going to the Texans. The situation is not great, but if you are a wide receiver that's like the 9th off the board and you have to prove yourself, this would be the moment to do it. So he does have some ceiling because there's not a whole lot of guys in front of him. So if he turns out to be a good pick, we'll find out very quickly. That is the only thing I can kind of like get into. But I can't imagine with that team in Miles, Davis Mills and all this. Once again, I'm very low on him, but I do think he might be worth a late flyer, because let's see what we have in him, and he's going to play.
And he's coming off an ACL injury, just like his teammate Jameson Williams is. I think he was in late November, early December when he got hurt. He expects to be back by training camp, just like Jameson Williams says he's going to be back by training camp. We'll see. They're going to say that now, right?
Yeah, I don't think either of them will be ready. Day one.
And we'll see how that plays out. Not a position player here, but the Baltimore Ravens, we talked about them the other day. They just kept getting good players, and they get David
kept falling to him every time, and I was just like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, so Ravens, you like it. Let's see here.
Actually, I do want to go back to the Ravens, and we might be jumping around, but they had so many picks in the 4th round that I started looking at everything they did, and they were the ones that picked up 2 tight ends in a draft that didn't really highlight any tight ends, and getting rid of Hollywood Brown. All of a sudden, I'm trying to figure out what they're doing, because they have Bateman, they have Duvernay, they have Proche, or I'm not sure exactly how that's gonna go out, but I'm starting to wonder if they're gonna play with multiple tight ends, since they have like 4 or 5 on the roster now. And I don't know, it's going to be interesting. I think they might change up their offensive look, which I'm not sure if it really affects anyone on the team, to be quite honest, because they can go back to the run heavy aspect that they're so good at. But I think it's very intriguing to keep watching the young tight ends that they drafted in the 4th round, because one of them might play considerable minutes, and Andrews can't do it all himself, and he has been the rock solid guy there for the past 3 years. So that is an interesting one. I can't tell you which one it's going to be, but I think that's something that we can talk about more and more as we get closer.
Yeah. All right. So where were we at? Oh yeah, Patriots pick 50 of the draft. Tyquan Thornton, wide receiver from Baylor. So Thornton, Patriots always pick interesting. I mean, George Pickens was out there. They go with Thornton. Thornton. Let's see. I don't have his numbers right off the bat right here. He's a fast guy. That's
he's insanely fast. My gosh, fast.
Well, I can't remember his time right now. Was it sub 4.3?
I think it was 4.28.
Okay. Yep. That's right. Yeah. And hey, I mean that's what it is, right? He's quick. That's
look, you're looking for weapons.
And he's 6'3".
The Patriots have not been able to get any of their guys they draft to work, right? And they don't spend a lot of draft capital on wide receiver. He's going to have a really good shot to produce in that offense because they are kind of run heavy, and I know that they're much more designed to nickel and dime it down the field. But all of a sudden, you get this guy, and I can see Belichick using him in multiple ways. As long as he picks up the offense quickly. That's my only thing with Patriots players. It's always rough to watch him fail. But with this kind of speed, I don't know how he doesn't get on the field. So it's very once again, I could not tell you how they're going to use him or if they're going to use him at all because it's the Patriots. But with that speed, I can't bet against him right now.
Yep. Hey, we'll see how it plays out. It's going to be, he has an opportunity at that spot.
And where's he actually going to go? Let me hold on. For the Dynasty, currently he's probably nowhere near it either.
Right. Yeah, probably not.
Oh my, where in the, oh my gosh. They have him ranked as the 30th rookie in the Dynasty drafting.
Wide receiver
right now.
16. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's pretty crazy. He's an interesting sleeper.
Yeah, he is. It'll be an interesting pick there. All right. Next up was the Pittsburgh Steelers get wide receiver at 52, George Pickens from Georgia. Now Pickens missed most of 2021 with an ACL. He's a big time talent before that. I mean, his 2020, they only played 8 games, but he had 36 catches, 513 yards, 6 touchdowns, a former 5-star recruit. We haven't been able to see it because of the injury. So hopefully he can still come back 6'3", 195. Decently fast guy too. Not Tyquan Thornton fast, but he's okay. He's not going to hurt you there. Steelers get him. They no longer have
Juju,
but they still have Claypool. They still have Deontay Johnson. So
and they got Pickens too. So you either have Trubisky and Pickens. One of them is going to start, obviously, and now you have Claypool. Their number one that you just said
Johnson. Yeah.
Johnson, thank you. And then Pickens will be number 3. Does them picking that third guy, does that worry you with the young quarterback situation?
No, I don't think
I think Johnson is bulletproof.
No, I think Johnson and Claypool will get theirs. Pickens probably just doesn't have a huge opportunity. He'll be involved, but he probably doesn't have a huge opportunity right now. That's kind of where I'm at with him. It's going to take a bit probably for him to break into that.
How good do you feel about Claypool this year?
I don't know.
It's an interesting one.
I don't know how it's going to. Is it going to be Trubisky? Is it going to be Pickett? How are we going to get this? What's going to be? It's a lot to see play out yet. So, well, this one. I'm just Pickens. I'm just not kind of don't expect a lot right now.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, very next pick, 53 of the draft, Indianapolis Colts select Alec Pierce, wide receiver, Cincinnati. I know you like Pierce as well, right?
I do. I think
solid pick.
I think it's a good pick for them. I don't know if he might get kind of buried in this offense.
I don't know if I love the spot. Yeah.
Not
sure. This spot, I mean, it's okay. I mean, I guess I just don't know if Matt Ryan, what he can do anymore, to be honest. That's part of it. Michael Pittman's going to be the number 1. Paris Campbell should be the 2. Pierce probably the 3. But can Matt Ryan still play? That's
and you're
question.
Obviously you're just going to pound the ball out. They're really good at running it. They have a nasty offensive line. So
can a third receiver do anything in this?
Yeah, he could. I mean, he could turn into the number 2. Like I'm not.
He could pass up Campbell.
Yeah, no one has established themselves besides for obviously. They're number 1. I am doing great today, but the number 1 wide receiver, Pittman. Thank you. I think Pittman is solid, and obviously he would be the one to have. Can they support 2 legit wide receivers? I don't know. But I don't know. Pierce's upside is pretty great. I mean, he's fast, he's tall. I think that he was underrated in college. I don't think that Cincinnati utilized him as much as they probably should have. I think his numbers could have been a lot bigger. So I really like the guy, and maybe it's better that people are going to be doubting him and he fell here, because you might actually be able to get a steal, right? And this would be what you're looking for as far as dynasty picks and whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll find out what Matty Ice still has left in the tank.
All right, next pick, very next pick. So we had to run 3 straight receivers. Skye Moore goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. So he actually fell a little bit from where he was ranked. He was ranked ahead of some of these other guys, but he goes to a much better spot than some of these other. Skye Moore from Western Michigan. Another faster guy, 5'9", 195. He's in a really good spot, I'll say, getting in there playing with the Chiefs, who have Juju's there, McCole Hardman's there. Who else is even there these days? Valdez Scantling's there, right? Skye Moore has an opportunity. There is an opportunity if he can play. I don't know if he can yet or not. Remains to be seen. But if he can play, the opportunity will be there.
Yeah, I mean, he was going to a small school. You have to absolutely dominate in order to go to the NFL, and he absolutely did. And we live in Michigan, so we heard about him. But the thing that worries me is he's not. I'm hoping that it's the attitude that comes along with it, like the chip on the shoulder, because you are behind guys that have kind of done it. And we've seen them be okay with anyone that's out there right now. And Juju has the name behind him. But he's not overly tall. He's not overly fast. He's just good in both. So how refined really is he? And how much of that, that grit does he really have? But yeah, I agree with you. The sky is the limit. If he is, what Western Michigan says he is, which I think they've come out and pretty much said, hey, this kid's legit. So,
yep. All right, next pick. The very next pick, Arizona picks a tight end. We could talk about tight end, I guess. They get Trey McBride late in the second here. So he was the top tight end in the country last year as well in college. So this is this is interesting. They have Ertz, right? So they're going to go with another tight end. They just went and traded for Hollywood Brown. So they have received. Well, now Hopkins is out for 6 games. We didn't talk about that. Hopkins out for 6 games, so there's receiving. Tight ends don't come on right away. So I'm not going to, for next year, just not going to, especially because he's not in a spot like some of them have been in the past where they could be the guy. He's not going to be the guy. Ertz is still the guy.
No.
Probably. So just probably for fantasy next year, not much. But if Ertz isn't there very long or Ertz really falls off a cliff, this becomes a guy 2-3 years down the line that's a very good option at tight end for us, and probably up the rankings. I would think in a couple of years if this team stays together. But yeah, not this year.
No.
All right, let's see. One more pick of the second round. And actually, we're going to make this just a second round podcast because second round went much longer than I thought. We'll wrap this up. We'll do second round. We'll come back and do third round and beyond. How about that? This is a nice long second round podcast, but we're going to end it with a good one. Buffalo Bills pick James Cook, running back from Georgia, Dalvin Cook's brother. What a spot for him. What a good landing spot for James Cook. He's going to get ranked probably highly, I think, in a lot of stuff because it was the landing spot. What are you expecting? You really this is a good spot. Do you think he's going to get overvalued a little bit?
I don't know. Any other running back, even though I don't think he is the best running back to come out, I think he is the perfect guy for this spot. And I think because of the way he can catch the ball, I think he's going to be a viable option. I mean, even if they line up a different guy in the backfield, I think they could trot him out there. The problem is they have a lot of very talented guys now. I mean, their Bills are loaded to the gills. So I don't know how many touchdowns you can honestly think he's going to get because I don't think he'll be the goal line. I don't know how many he'll catch in the red zone. But if he comes on and he shows himself to be a very capable pass catcher, which I think there's no doubt he will be. I really do. I think he looks effortless. He looks kind of like a wide receiver out there.
Oh yeah.
I think that they will use him more and more. And I think after the first few weeks, like week 3, I think all of a sudden you're going to see him out there more than the other two, because I just don't think they offer as much, even though they're probably more refined running backs, but that's not what they need. So I actually really like James Cook. I think he is going to be sneaky. Once again, this is if no one is paying attention to him, I love him. If he gets overvalued, then I want no part of him, because I don't think that he's going to return a great amount of value in the first half of the year, probably.
Right now, I mean, again, this is going to change. He's 40th on Fantasy Pros. That's without some updates. But the highest rank he is 26th. That's not okay with that. That's the
Yeah.
highest
I mean,
he
you
is, 26.
you have someone that really, really digs him. That's fine. But at
I wonder if
40th,
that's me.
all of a sudden
It can't be me, is it?
it
It is me.
You have him at 26.
I do.
Why?
I like him. I like
you
him.
like
man.
him that much?
I do. I like this. I think he's gonna. I think Devin Singletary is just done. They don't care
I
about
mean,
him.
that's fair. Yeah.
I think he's gonna get all the chances. I was ranking Devin Singletary 21, 22 before, so why not?
I mean, it is running back, but that, I mean, it feels aggressive. But hey,
see.
man, like I said, best case scenario, like you still get a steal there. But
Yep.
I just worry that they're going to score a lot of touchdowns.
It is going to be Josh Allen, though.
Yeah, and that's what I worry about.
That's
But
going to be the part. We'll see.
we have talked about this before, and I do think that is a very good point. I believe you made how many podcasts ago, but at some point you can't put your franchise quarterback in harm's way, right? So you're not going to take away the run because that is part of his game, but you're not going to design situations where he's going to be in that position nearly as much. And in that case, you do have to run it a little more, or you do have to have outlets to the, out of the backfield.
If somebody like James Cook can play in that spot and not hurt them on the goal line, they'll use him. If not, they'll use Josh Allen. They're not going to sacrifice the team for not using Josh Allen, but if somebody else can handle that, they're going to do that.
And that's the thing. I think that is probably in the beginning of the year, they're still going to go to more of a veteran guy, Singletary or someone. Yeah.
All right. That'll do it for round 2. We'll be back with some round 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 action. Talk to you guys next time.